That's pretty good.
Do you think Terence Crawford is approaching you in the proper way?
I think he's wanted the fight and doing respectful, you know. I want Canelo.
Dos, tres, cuatro. Eso. Enjoy.
Canelo Alvarez was shown a clip of Floyd Mayweather training with Terence Crawford. When asked about it during his workout, Canelo kept it short and cool, simply saying, "Enjoy," making it clear he's unfazed and focused on his own journey.
Eso. Eso. Venga. Cinco, venga. Uno. Dos. Tres. Cuatro. Eso. Enjoy.
Shakur Stevenson recently shared his experience meeting Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford. He spoke highly of Mayweather, saying Floyd respects realness, which has brought them closer. "We're really tight now," Shakur said, highlighting their strong bond and mutual respect in boxing.
Seeing Floyd Mayweather and Terence Crawford all in the one place, and I know you put that together. You've played the game, and you put yourself in a position there to sort of create a moment. And there was a few viral moments from that clips outside. What's that sort of environment like for you? I get the feeling every time I speak to you, you're so locked in. Do you not feel anything when you're around everybody in the gym and you've got to do them spars?
It kind of just feel, back in the day, like, if you asked me this question, I probably would tell you, like, oh, it was so amazing. It was, but now I'm kind of so used to, like,
regular.
Yes, it feels so normal. Like, honestly, that's why me and, like, Floyd is so, like, close now, because it's like, I'm a genuine person, and he don't, like, he like genuine people around, so.
Canelo Alvarez, regarded as boxing's top star, addressed Terence Crawford's respectful approach in calling for a fight. He acknowledged Crawford's interest, but appreciated that there was no trash talk involved. Canelo, confident in his position, said, "You never know. Maybe one day I wake up and decide to fight that guy," leaving the door open for the possibility.
He went on the rant. Teddy Atlas.
What's that mean?
He said you're the most overrated Mexican champion in history. He said that Salvador Sanchez.
Boxeador mexicano.
Más popular,
pero sin causa.
Fucking crazy, that guy. and you think he knows boxing? Fuck.
When Terence Crawford said that he moved up and won, and Canelo moved up and lost.
They talk all the crazy stuff about me going up and having a tough time, but he went up in weight and lost. That's the difference. I went up weight and won.
I don't think that was a strong point, because Canelo Alvarez actually moved up and won. I mean, he moved up a lot of weight classes, but if you want to talk about light heavyweight, he moved up and he beat Kobe. Then he moved up again and he lost to Bill. Terence Crawford, on the other hand, he moves up to 154. He won 115, 113, but it was against an 11-0 Madrimov who didn't really have much of a presence. Right. But there's a difference, to be real. I mean, Bivol is a Hall of Fame. Okay, this guy, all-time light heavyweight. It's a bit different. Canelo did knock out Kovalev when he did move up. Okay, and Kovalev is a bigger challenge at light heavyweight than Madrimov at 154 for Terence Crawford. Let's just keep it a bit.
Canelo made it clear he wouldn't drop weight to fight Crawford, emphasizing that Crawford was the one asking for the fight, not him. He pointed out that if he took the fight, people would criticize him for facing a smaller opponent, making it less appealing.
Listen, Canelo needs to understand he's a different fighter now. The deterioration is there. He's not the same guy. He's not that destroyer who's looking for knockouts early and keeps a pace and a pressure on you. He throws 30 punches around. You're not the same guy. So telling everyone you're going to knock them out and then going into, 6 decisions in a row now? Scores a knockdown every time. The power's still there. The problem is the pace and the ability to carry on and push. That's the real difference, and that comes with age. He's 34 going on 45 at this, as far as I'm concerned. He's got a ton of fights, been around for a long time, doesn't have that same desire, the same drive to take the chances against these younger, bigger guys, because he is fighting younger, bigger guys. So you got to keep that in mind as well.
When he fought Canelo and he was like standing right in front of Canelo and Canelo's just whiffing, it was a life lesson. And then you look at how good Canelo's head movement got after that fight when he realized it. I mean, my God, when he fought Danny Jacobs, and Canelo's just standing right in front of him, bobbing and weaving. That's all what he learned from fighting Floyd.
Promoter Eddie Hearn shared similar concerns, saying a fight between Canelo and Crawford wouldn't do much for Canelo's legacy because of the size difference. Canelo won't get any credit for beating a lightweight, Hearn said, reinforcing the idea that the matchup isn't ideal.
I don't think it's a fight Canelo really wants, if I'm honest, because I think he feels like he won't get a lot of credit beating a light middleweight. And Crawford's going to move a lot in that fight, which is not ideal for Canelo. But what's his options? I mean, like, you know, if Bivol wins, he could fight him for undisputed. That's a very tough fight. What's the other options? You know, Benavidez is up at 175. Obviously, His Excellency wants to make that fight, so I guess we could see it next.
Shakur Stevenson strongly believes in Crawford's skills, especially after meeting both Crawford and Mayweather. He brushed off concerns about weight, saying, "I think he can beat Canelo because weight doesn't matter. Skills do."
I'm like this nice because of Bud. Like, me, truthfully, like, I done got better through the years. Like, not even just being in the ring with him, but even being outside the ring.
Get it.
Watching his demeanor, watching what he doing in his sparring, watching his training camp, how hard he trained. Like, dog, I owe Bud a lot, so I'll never even talk about too much sparring.
Yeah, I got you.
Shakur, everybody just keeps saying, bro, he lighting the ass, the weight. I'm like, yeah, all right.
Yeah,
what do you
but
say about that?
I think skills pay the bills.
Yeah.
And I feel like, truthfully, he's not as little as people think. Like, people think he like very small.
He cut weight to get the 147, 154.
Yes. Yeah. He's not as small as like people think. It's just he look like it.
Yeah.
So like if you see him in
person
and he get on a scale or something, you wouldn't believe that's his weight.
I told somebody the other day, he might get on the scale weighing like 166, 167 fighting Canelo, and people wouldn't believe how ripped up and cut up he'll still look. He won't look like he's overweight Terence Crawford. He gonna look like a solid Terence Crawford.
I think he beat Canelo though. I've been saying, I remember when he fought when they fought. Go watch an interview after the fight. I literally said I think Terence Crawford would beat Canelo.
Okay, I wouldn't say that.
A long time ago.
Yeah.
Canelo Alvarez has always emphasized the importance of weight classes, believing fighters perform best in their natural division. Terence is in his weight class for a reason, he said, implying that Crawford is best suited at 147 lbs. He also downplayed Crawford's challenge, saying everyone wants to fight him. Floyd Mayweather also weighed in, recalling his own bout with Canelo.
Crazy that, you know, Canelo said that, because when Canelo fought me, he was in his prime. And when I fought, I was an old man. So I wasn't in my prime when I fought Canelo. You know, I was an old man when I fought Canelo. Just like this right here, young guy. Even though I'm old, I got a lot of experience. I'm gonna go out there and just show him that this is the elite level, and it's something totally different.
Mayweather reminded fans, "I was like 40 years old when I cooked this dude," suggesting that Canelo isn't as invincible as people think. Canelo, on the other hand, dismissed Crawford's challenge, saying he's only interested in fights that truly matter for his legacy. "If the money's right, I'm in," he added, but admitted he finds Crawford's elusive style.
I think Crawford don't get me wrong. He's a great fighter. But for me, in my weight class, it's an easy fight. For me, easy money. So if the money is right, I'm in. Because, you know, I don't like to fight guys like Crawford because he move a lot and the fight is not that great. I saw Crawford the last fight and he don't move that much now. So if the money is right, I mean, why not?
How you think he did at that weight, at 154? How you think Crawford did?
You know, they are a weight class for a reason, and you need to ask him. It's different. I know in his mind he think he can do whatever he wants because he's very talented fighter. He's a very good fighter. I like how he fight, but That's why there are weight classes.
Yeah,
and he knows now.
Canelo questioned Crawford's record, arguing that he's only beaten one truly notable opponent. This raises doubts about whether Crawford is really a worthy challenger.
Are you tired of people asking you about Terence yet?
I always say, I respect Terence Crawford. He's a very talented fighter, but he just win one big fight. If you see his record, he just beat one good fighter like Errol Spence is. But other than that, I don't think he's beating other great fighter like Spence. He did a really good job with Spence. He did like almost look very easy. But I knew Terence Crawford is a great fighter. But you never know in boxing.
Brian Bomac McIntyre defended his fighter's resume, saying Crawford is so dominant that he makes his opponents look ordinary. That's his talent. He makes everybody look normal, Bomac stated, showing full confidence in Crawford's abilities.
I'm going with Terence Crawford. Big weight jump, a dangerous fight, but somebody's got to prove to me that they can break Terence Crawford's will and that he can't figure it out against you. It ain't no disrespect toward Canelo, but I've said this the last couple of years. I've not been against Terence Crawford. There's nobody. You got to show me that you can beat.
Boxing analyst Showbiz the Adult weighed in, calling Terence Crawford one of the greatest ever. He believes the weight difference won't stop Crawford from dominating in the ring.
Just a few weeks ago, you heard what Terence Bud Crawford had to say on why he wants to take on Saul Canelo Alvarez.
I just want the opportunity, to fight the best fighter in my generation that's out there. He's the most accomplished fighter, and I would just like to, fight another great.
Which is a very noble reason. I mean, it's a reason that I can get behind. If you notice, his primary reason isn't money. He did say it'd be the biggest fight, which, you do want a big fight, but I don't think he meant monetarily, which the money comes, okay? But what he's saying is he want to test himself versus the best. And I think he's telling the truth here, right? Of course you want big money and stuff like that, but I think his swan song is just him testing himself up against the very best. Those are the reasons the war room can get behind.
Mikey Garcia analyzed a possible Canelo versus Crawford fight, discussing the challenges of size and weight. He pointed out that Canelo fights at 168 lbs, while Crawford only recently moved up to 154. Canelo won't go lower than 166 at most, Garcia noted, saying Canelo's power would likely be the decisive.
Has to be made. How do you see that playing out? I'm not a big fan of that, right? Matchmaking, because they're too many weight classes apart. And although the skills, Crawford is one of the best fighters that I've seen. I called him yesterday when I met him up that night there at the dinner. I'm like, dude, you're a badass. Like, you've been a badass. You don't always get the recognition because of the, politics in boxing and the favoritism here and there. But he truly does have the skills, and he's a great fighter. He's proven it multiple times, obviously. Now, Canelo is, fighting at 168. Crawford just moved up to 154, and he had some trouble with that in that fight. Now, where do you plan on going? 164, 65, 66? Yeah. Canelo ain't gonna come down to 160. Yeah, Canelo ain't gonna come down, maybe 166 max if he accepts. Yeah. I think Canelo wins that fight based on just the size, power and size. Now, skill-wise, I think Crawford's a better skilled fighter, but the difference in size will be the deciding factor.
Jake Paul also shared his thoughts, calling the fight interesting because of the weight difference. He pointed out that fans have never seen Crawford at such a high weight, which adds to...
Give me your opinion on how that fight plays out.
Man, it's interesting because of the weight class. We haven't seen Terence go up there, and will he have the power? But I do think that Terence has the skill and is a bit fresher than Canelo. So if I had to put my money on it, I would probably go with Terence.
I think Canelo destroys him.
Really?
I do.
Wow. I mean, but most people think that, but they don't know.
I don't think
Canelo's
that happens. I think, Terence is just super talented at adjusting inside that ring. The weight will play a part. We'll see that when the fight happens, but I think that fight is going to be a lot more interesting than most people think.
Who was the hardest puncher you ever faced?
According to ESPN's Mike Coppinger, a Canelo versus Crawford fight could happen in September. There's also talk of a big fight on Friday, May 2nd, which might mean Canelo skips his usual Cinco de Mayo weekend event. If true, Canelo could fight twice this year, with Crawford headlining the second match. This setup brings back memories of classic Friday night fights, adding some nostalgia to modern boxing.
So you can't look forward past Saturday, but do you feel like a fight like Terence Crawford? I see he wants to fight. He's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
You know, everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better, no? Terence Crawford is a great fighter, he's a good fighter, but you know, like I say, he's a weight classes for a reason. You know? I'm focused 100% on Berlanga, and then you never know what happened.
Yeah, for sure.
Just a few weeks ago, you heard what Terence Bud Crawford had to say on why he wants to take on Saul Canelo Alvarez.
I just want the opportunity, to fight the best fighter in my generation that's out there. He's the most accomplished fighter, and I would just like to, fight another great.
Which is a very noble reason. I mean, it's a reason that I can get behind. If you notice, his primary reason isn't money. He did say it'll be the biggest fight, which, you do want a big fight, but I don't think he meant monetarily, which the money comes, okay? But what he's saying is he want to test himself versus the best. And I think he's telling the truth here, right? Of course you want big money and stuff like that, but I think his swan song is just him test himself up against the very best. Those are the reasons the war room can get behind.
A boxing expert recently dismissed concerns about weight in a potential Canelo versus Crawford fight. If you take the fight, just fight, he said, arguing that skills matter more than weight.
Be great. That'll be 3 times. If you go 154 and win the belt, that's 3 times super. Then I said, hey, super greatness. Come on, Canelo, 160.
Well, if he can get in there with Charlo in like his next 2 fights where he still got age on his side, then maybe go up again. Like if he's trying to chase the greatness. But I mean, he already done something that's never been done. Charlo don't want none of that smoke.
Terence Crawford, I see he wants to fight. He's made it clear. Do fights like that help your legacy, or do you feel like that's something that's not worth it to you?
Everything in my career, every fight make my legacy different and better, no? Terence Crawford is a great fighter, he's a good fighter, but like I say, he's a weight classes for a reason. I'm focused 100% on Berlanga, and you never know what happened.
Yeah.
Fans are buzzing about a possible Canelo versus Crawford fight. The mix of styles and weight classes makes it one of the most exciting matchups in boxing. Some fans are so confident in their predictions that they're putting big money on the line. Boxing commentator Showbiz the Adult even placed a $30,000 bet on the fight, showing just how high the stakes are.
Check out the projected odds that came out. One of the odds projectors say Canelo is opening up as the favorite, -130. Crawford is +100. That's damn near 50-50. Another one says Canelo Alvarez is the favorite, -185. Crawford is the underdog, only +55. Let me tell you something. If those are the odds on my booking come day one, I'm max betting Canelo Alvarez. I could give a damn. If y'all mean to tell me that y'all think it's 50-50, I'ma empty my account on Canelo Alvarez. I don't have to bet KO, none of that shit. If y'all think it's that close, I'm going to empty my account. $30,000. I can give a shit. I'm about to come up. I was going to bet on Crawford thinking he'd be the huge underdog. Y'all got it that narrow?
That's all for today's video. Stay tuned for more updates next time.